Two guys, one bench.
Shit talking, strict sports, combat sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Guys, One Bench. Over 600 pounds of fuck stickery on a 30-pound bench. Drell.
Where we're talking more shit than NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp.
And that's a lot of shit.
President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. So call the dogs off. Send the National Guard, please. They need emergency help. Please help these folks. They're coming. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Help is on the way, I promise you. The president, I called the National Guard. Okay. He said to the National Guard, help is on the way, I promise you. In 10 minutes, help will be here. In 10 minutes. Okay, you coming. We understand. He coming. They sending help.
Rant of the week. We're about to pop some caps.
All right, we want to kick it off with our rants of the week. Russ, what do you got for us?
Well, I just want to say, if you hate being called a fuck stick, just don't be one. That goes with any kind of word that's derogatory aimed towards you. Usually they're words that have meaning and there's a background and reason to be called one. For example, I have people daily, the clients, people that work with, and they just do certain things that, kind of rub me the wrong way. And I'm always the guy that's like, okay, follow a simple set of rules, do it the right way, not the wrong way, and you'll live a life of easiness, happiness, and not being a fuck stick. So I can honestly say, if you don't want to be called a fuck stick, start acting properly, follow a simple set of rules, don't be a piece of shit, act accordingly, and it should be all right.
Yeah, usually people aren't calling you an asshole if you aren't acting like one. People aren't just going to make shit up about you. If you go around and see people that are very well liked, not everyone thinks they're a piece of shit behind closed doors. But if everybody thinks you're a piece of shit, well, I got news for you. You're probably a piece of shit.
Yeah, and if you're a problem everywhere you go, and then there's always a problem going on every place you go, you're the fucking problem. We said it once, we'll say it again. So whenever there's some bad energy coming your way, take a look at yourself and realize maybe it's you that's causing it.
All right, what I want to talk about is just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean you're healthy. One magical shot isn't going to erase 20 to 30 years of bad life choices. If you were a piece of shit before the vaccination, you're going to be a piece of shit after the vaccination. It's plain and simple. If you're living a horrible life that would make you really high risk and it was 100% within your control before you got vaccinated, guess what? You're still high risk of dying after the vaccination. Just because COVID's not going to kill you doesn't mean something else isn't going to get you. The vaccination isn't going to stop diabetes. It's not going to stop your stroke. It's not going to stop a heart attack. But hey, keep believing what you want to believe.
Definitely. I mean, I've kind of taken life under my own hands here. Everybody's watching the podcast saying I'm wasting away. Well, I am down about 320 from 370, but that was my choice on top of getting a vaccine, which I'll probably get, which may or may not help me. Who knows? I'm just getting it to speed line, maybe going traveling and getting shit back to normal, giving my clients and members a little ease of mind knowing that I have it. But the biggest thing is I've decided not to be a fucking fat piece of shit anymore. I was chasing numbers, chasing trophies, been there, done that. 41 years old, probably don't need to be 370. So I'm slimming down. I'm actually in good shape now. I'm hitting the bags. I own an MMA gym as well as a lifting gym. I need to be in fucking shape. And when I used to be a fighter, I was in phenomenal shape. I was in there. You can see pictures with me and fucking all the fighters. I wasn't standing out as some fucking double chin fucking fat piece of shit. I was there. I always felt better that way if I could have strength and conditioning. I spent my time the last 5-6 years just chasing those numbers, doing that. And that's great. And Darrell's still doing it. He's got a lot to prove, but he's in better shape than me. He can actually run a 5K without dying. I would probably need a fucking crew of ambulances to pull me off the pavement if that were to happen. So yeah, vaccines are definitely there to, help the world get through this COVID-19, but you got to look in the mirror and say, am I healthy? What am I doing other than that to build my immune system? Because it might not be enough.
Rant of the week. We're about to pop some caps.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and a giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
All right, everybody, we just got off an amazing Zoom call with Glenn Love. He's a professional footballer in the CFL, 2014 Grey Cup champion, an amazing guy. I've met him and I trained him a bit in some boxing martial arts for a little bit. And he's just an amazing individual that has taken his life past just being a professional football player and challenging himself in all kinds of ways. Darrell?
It's great to hear from someone at a pro level about having a backup plan, not just a plan B, but like you said, a plan C and D.
Yeah.
Someone who's going into kind of like starting an apparel line, acting, modeling, stuff like that, stunts, making sure he's always got something outside of sports, which a lot of athletes don't focus on.
Definitely, yeah. And he's really taken, his modeling and sort of acting gig and making a life out of it. Once you get into these shows, and he's not a small man. He has that look. He's about 6'4", jacked. So not too many guys out in Vancouver looking like that. And he's taking advantage of that. And like he said, once you get a paycheck from a production company, you'll know why you're doing it. So it's great to catch up with him, and I truly think you'll enjoy this podcast episode and interview, because we're digging into the mind of a professional footballer, and it's a different type of breed, right? So stay tuned and give it a watch. Boom! All right, everybody, we're here with Glenn Love. He's an awesome dude. Known him for a while, and he's a pro football player. Played in the CFL for many years. He's still eligible to play, but the season's shut down. Not sure about this year, but he's killing it in other aspects of life. I see him out there in Vancouver acting. He's like the Rock out there now, a big ass dude, guns and riding on tanks. And I love it, man. Good to see you prospering. How you doing out there?
Appreciate it. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
No worries. So we always ask everybody this question off the bat. What and how has COVID, impacted your life and your industry? Obviously football, but also in film. Let us know what's going on out there in Vancouver.
Yeah, of course, yeah, it's impacted me a lot. During football, as you said, like the whole season kind of went to nowhere, went to shits kind of thing last year. So a lot of guys didn't get to play, and a lot of guys didn't have backup because of it. Because of they have football lives kind of thing, right? Well, lucky me, I had film still to I was working on, so. Film, it kind of saved me a year of not being able to work for a year kind of thing, right? But with my PR situation, I have to wait every now and then to get jobs. But yeah, luckily I had the football aspect of things to keep it pushing, keep it moving. Even in film, though, they shut it down for a couple months, but people need entertainment. So the film industry is like the first ones that the government let keep going. It's just really they're really safe and cautious right now. You have to get like 3 COVID tests a week. When I was just on the show in Toronto, I had 3 COVID tests a week, couldn't go out and really do nothing. It was just straight work and go home. But yeah, that's all it was, bro. Straight work.
3 COVID tests a week. Is that the one where they jam it up your nose?
Nah, like they did, but luckily it didn't go way up the brain. It was just like one right, halfway up, so it wasn't as bad as the regular ones and everything. So I would die. That would suck. I had to do that every day.
So how long were you into the whole acting? Was that just something that kind of fell in your lap during all this, or is that something you've been doing in maybe the off season the last couple of years?
It kind of started right out of college. I had an ex-girlfriend. She was like an Olympic gymnastics gymnast, and she was working on a Make It or Break It show. It was like some gymnastics show in LA. And while I was training, she was like, "Hey man, just come by, see how check things out, see how it is." I'm all right, cool. I've never been on set before. I go there and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool, laid back and everything. People aren't yelling at you like you see on TV all the time. And the coordinator come up to me, like, "Hey man, like you seem like you play football and all that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm Tasha's boyfriend." He's like, "Oh yeah, if you want to get in the stunts, you seem like a big guy. There's football related things all the time, so I can hit you up if you want to." I'm like, yeah. So during the off season, I think 2012, he hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, like there's like I don't know if you guys remember like RG3, Robin Griffin III, he needed like a stunt double." So I was like, "All right, I'll do it. I don't have any dreads." Like, "Oh yeah, we'll put dreads on you. It's cool." So it's for like a Gatorade commercial, and I was just like riding a bike, chilling out, and being a stunt double. And ever since then, I'll get hit up saying like, "Hey, can you do these football related things, football related stunts?" And every off season, I'm like, "Yeah, cool." Then I'll do EA Sports, the Madden thing, almost every other year, and do that. And also, like, "Hey man, I might as well pick it up." So 2 or 3 years ago, I started doing martial arts and all that in Vancouver. And luckily, like I met some good stunt people, and they saw like my work ethic, and I'm always grinding, always on time, and working. Then during the off season, yeah, I did that. Then went back to Montreal. Then I got hurt. Around I got hurt, I got a call saying like, "Hey, can you do this whole TV show? You're stunt doubling for like in space." I'm like, "All right, cool, I'll do it, but I don't know if I can because I know I got hurt and I tore my ACL and LCL and blew out my knee." They're like, "Technically, you don't need your knee because you'll be floating in space." Floating in space. I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool. I mean, I get surgery next week. And if you guys still want me, like, all right." So I got my surgery. They checked me out. I went out there, flew out there, and everything checked out. Then I got to do that. So that's my dog. He's over here growling, but probably wants to get taken out. But yeah, so I get to do that. Then this year I stunt double for Umbrella Academy 3, and that worked out well. It was all like martial arts and fighting stuff. So luckily I have that background now as well too. So I was kind of blessed to be in the situation I am, and fortunate that people see like my work ethic, and I can transfer football to stunts and pretty easy kind of thing. So it's pretty easy transfer for me.
That's dope. Like, honestly, you've had a pretty entertaining life, and thinking about your college days, even back then, coming out of UCLA. For most people, they'll never step on campus of a D1 program or know what that experience is. I was at a small HBCU, so it's probably not even 100th of the size. But could you kind of take us back to where it all started in UCLA and tell us a little bit about your college days?
Yeah. It was cool, man. It was cool. I was fortunate enough to go there. I was either gonna go to some Pac-10 school or I guess Pac-12 school. I was gonna stay in state to Arizona, but I was like, high school was there in Arizona, and after like the high school games, like sometimes we'll go out to ASU, and if I would stayed in ASU, I don't know if I would if I would have been too focused. So I had to get out to UCLA, but it was a good experience. You wake up 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning for workouts. You get food, go to class all day. Maybe you get done around 3, 4. Then you got practice after that, meetings. Then you're done around 7, 8. Then as a freshman, you have to go to mandatory study hall for like another, hour or two. So then you're done about 9, 10 a night kind of thing. Then you have a little, maybe an hour, 30 minutes. If you want to do something, if you want to stay up late, you can play video games, you want to, but you usually go to bed and you got to start all over again every day. But the party aspect, that's good. It's fun. I don't know if y'all seen like Project X or nothing like that, but yeah, there's some nights like that. It seemed like at UCLA, even probably once a week, something like that kind of happens. But not with cops and everything. But yeah, just it's fun. It's fun. It's worth it. If you're a young kid, young adult, it's worth it just to say, hey, like I graduated from a big school and did sports and got your diploma. It's a good accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've had a lot of athletes on as well, some fighters, and another fighter / former CFL guy, Adam Braidwood. He played with the Eskimos. I think he was a top draft pick back in the day, but he got a bunch of injuries, went sideways a bit, went to the dark side, being a gangster, and then now he's a professional boxer, and he's a badass dude. We had him on, but he was going over his days in college in the States. Where did he go to? You remember?
I can't remember the school off the top of my head.
Yeah, pretty big school anyways. I think it was Washington State or something. Don't get me wrong, but just the work ethic that he put in day in, day out, just like you explained, it's like your whole day, the regimen is there. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then I don't know what it's done for you, but I think it sounds like your entire life now, you're structured. Like you said, you're never late for things. You're always kind of, on top of the game. Did that have anything to do with it? Just having that kind of regimen?
Yeah. Because I never want to get punished. I never want to let my peoples down. I never want to be that guy that had the opportunity and blew it kind of thing, right? I was the first. I'm the baby boy of the family, and I had 2 older sisters. So just me, just like going to college and getting a scholarship and stuff like that too. Then I had my younger cousins are around my same age as well, and I was the first one to get a scholarship. So I was like, oh man, I can't let them down, kind of thing, right? Can't let the family down and keep pushing it. That's why, like, even with being pros, it's like, yeah, I might want to retire, but at the same time, like, you see how everybody else is like happy for you, kind of thing, or you see how your mom smiles and your sister smiles, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? So that's my son, that's my brother, and all that kind of stuff too. So that kind of gets to you as well. So yeah, don't want to let the people down, kind of thing as well too. So keeps you pushing.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the adjustments you had to deal with going from UCLA to then being in the CFL in BC? Like, had you even been to Canada before that?
Nah, I didn't even hear about the CFL until like I was about to go. Like, so when I graduated, I got in the draft, got picked up by Cardinals. Then I got red flagged because I had an injury in high school. I mean, in college, my freshman year had torn both my labrums and my hips. So I had surgery on that. So then, so like, oh, we're kind of like a patched up tire already, like that. Oh man, like I didn't get a chance. So then my agent's like, yeah, they got a league called CFL in Canada. I'm like, CFL, yeah, the Canadian Football League. Oh, they got things like, yeah, just go up there for a couple of years and come back and you'll be good. I'm like, man, all right, cool. So I go up there in BC and I see these dudes like running to the line of scrimmage. I'm like, this ain't legal. Like, no, you can do that. You have the receivers run to the line of scrimmage. So I'm like, oh shit. So that was probably the hardest thing ever, just having those guys run full speed at you, being a DB, and you just stand there. That's the biggest thing. And the field is a little bit wider too, so you think you're breaking to the ball, and that guy keeps running. So it's like you gotta adjust some things like that. But other than that, not too bad. But BC, it was kind of cool because there wasn't too many brothers in general in Canada, so that was a big little culture shock to me as well too. So yeah, it was all good things, but it was worth it. It was good. It was straight.
You touched on it a little bit, but you said a couple adjustments to your game. Did you have to change your game like at all? Like some things that worked in the States don't work in Canada or vice versa?
Yeah, and the system too, because because I was like almost like a hybrid, like safety linebacker, outside linebacker. So like for the runs, I have to be a little bit more patient, kind of thing, because one more gaps, supposedly, because the wide receiver comes in from a cracking angle. So you have to be a little bit more patient in the running game. Then also, one-on-ones, like I said, the field is a lot bigger, and you have to be quicker and almost faster to be a DB here than in the States. You can be a little bit, heavier and stuff, but that's why I was playing like linebacker, because guys that are big, that even a lot of guys that play in the NFL for a couple of years and come up, in Canada, are like, man, that's crazy. Like, I don't know how y'all be playing like this all the time. Like, yeah, this is how the game is. It's a lot faster. And yeah, just being one-on-ones, bro, it's different. It's a different beast.
Definitely. I mean, when I met you, I was a trainer in a gym, and you guys just happened to be working out there. And there's not too many guys in Calgary that look like you and your boy Freddie Bishop Jr. there when you walked in the gym. Like, yeah, there's some giant black dudes in the gym. Like, these guys are huge. And then I saw you guys training, and you guys both had some pretty awesome techniques, and I could tell that you must have been from that big school where you learned all these cutting edge strength and conditioning drills and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty impressive seeing you guys train a little bit. I have been very unimpressed by a lot of other Stampeder guys that just come in and do like quarter squats.
You got yeah. Me and Bishop, man, we had to get after it, bro. That's how we got this. That's how, like you said before, you little touched on before. That's how we stayed in the CFL and NFL for so long, right? Because you got to treat your bodies right, man. If you don't, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad news now in the future and all that stuff. So you got to treat your body right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys put it in. And then we did do a little bit of boxing there a few times. That was pretty awesome. Remember you guys hitting pretty hard just for people just picking it up. So
yeah, I had no technique though. At least not. No. You should have been clowning me, bro. You
guys had the season. I didn't want to break you guys.
Oh man, that was bad.
But I still can't believe. I remember Bryant Moniz. He was a backup quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Guy could hit hard, man. Those Hawaiian guys, they don't mess around. They're fighting when they're like kids, dude.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, like I said, Brian, I mean, he's been doing that for a while, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
that's what they do. I don't know why, bro. Like, for real, that's good.
Yeah. So taking that to your, you guys won the Grey Cup 2014. What was that like? What was that experience? I mean, in the CFL, that's the pinnacle. It's no Super Bowl, but
no, it's a great feeling, man. Like, we had a good season. It was, I think we might have lost like 2 or 3 games that year, kind of thing, right? So like, it's almost like we had to win, So it was like more like we knew we were gonna win, but we just had to, kind of thing. And when it happened, it was just like, all right, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta do this shit again next year, kind of thing. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The aspect of that thing. And it was great at the moment. It was a great, 2-3 days after that. But after that, I was like, man, I gotta get back to work, kind of thing, right? And it's a great accomplishment to finish something with guys that you started with. A lot of these teams, like Saskatchewan, like, when I was out there, like, you got guys coming in and out every week. Competition, it's like you're starting, but then it's like, man, they're gonna try to bring somebody in to beat me out every week. Like, that's not like a team. That's like, no family. But with Calgary, like, they say, like, hey man, if you get there, if you get to camp, make the team, you're here. Unless like something crazy happens, you get in trouble or something, you're gone. But like, it's a team, it's a family kind of thing. So that's why it felt great in that aspect of things that, we finished the season off right with that dub kind of thing. It was worth it. It was worth it.
All right, everybody. So you're watching the podcast right now. You're mid-podcast, shitting yourself, probably going to go change your underwear because it's full of poop. Well, we want you to subscribe, like, and share with all your friends because getting our name out is going to help us kick ass. Darrell?
Yeah, if you want to go into our comment section, tell us how terrible we look. The more segments you want to hear, we want to hear back from you.
Yeah, just shit talk us. Whatever you want to do. We're ready for it, mother truckers.
So after winning your Grey Cup in 2014, I know you touched on it a little bit, but do priorities change at all? Because I know you hear about it all the time in sports talk when guys win. Some people get complacent, stuff like that. Did you feel like that was in the locker room, or what was your immediate priority and motivation now that you've been to the top?
Yeah, it was more, I'm not kind of touching on, like I said, like, yeah, 3 days, partying, being happy and stuff. And after that, I was like, we gotta get it again. That's how that locker room it felt like. It was like we tasted blood, we liked it, and we want some more kind of thing, right? So my priorities on a business aspect of things was more of, let's get a better deal. We proved to ourselves that, yeah, we can do it. We need more. And yeah, it wasn't complacent at all. It was more of I feel the taste, and let's go, let's get it. Because I'm used to being on a bigger stage, even personally, for me, like even coming to Canada and being at Grey Cup, and there was, I don't know, 50,000 people there in the stands, and coming from UCLA, that was nothing almost. Like it was like being a Rose Bowl, we have up to 100 100 people in the stands. So it's just like it was like, yeah, I miss that. I miss that feeling. I miss that where you can't hear your teammates say something, you get to use like sign language almost. So I was like, I miss that aspect of things. So yeah, I was like, I gotta get back to this. I gotta get back.
Yeah. So yeah, going back, I mean, I said you guys, I noticed you guys train like animals. And so can you take us through like, a typical week in the league? Like how would your week go through the season? Where would you fit in your training, your recovery and whatnot?
Yeah. Usually have the games on Fridays or Saturdays. Then we have a day off, but usually we do like a little rundown in the morning, watch the film. So guys probably get like a maybe 30-40 minute like run, just like to refresh our legs after the game. And after that, we have the meetings, and that's a couple hours of watching the game film. Then we're off. And the next day we're completely off usually. That's either Sunday or Monday. Then either guys just chill out. But for me, I did like an active recovery day on that day. Then Monday back to work, back to, film, a little bit, no pads kind of thing on Mondays. I guess now there's no pads regardless during the week, but besides last year, it was no pads on the Monday, Tuesday practice. Then either Tuesday or Wednesday, we go full go kind of thing during the day. But then get a lift in as well. Always an ice bath after practice for, good 10-20 minutes. Then either in the afternoons, I usually get my own little workout in at the gyms where you saw me. Usually that's why it's always in the afternoons kind of thing. For about, hour and a half. So I probably pay attention to how long we're in there for. We get until one of us is like, all right, man, we're good for the day. Like we just keep going kind of thing. Then Thursday, either get a massage, got practice, obviously still practice, no pads again. Get a massage, maybe just to relax, but still get in the gym, mostly stretching, functional movement kind of things, gets prepared. Then either on Friday, it's walkthroughs, travel, stretching kind of thing. And then the next day is game day. So it's almost something every day. You might have one day off if you want to take a day off, but other than that, it's you gotta stay active. You gotta stay active. Even I've had 3 or 4 injuries in the CFL. And it's like, that's how I think I bounce back, just because of my work ethic. And even if I am injured, I'm working on, if I injure my arm, I'm working on my legs. If I injure my legs, I'm working on my arms, kind of thing. It's always ongoing battle, what you can do, what you can't do. When guys don't do that, then they're only in the league for 1 or 2 years, and then they wonder why aren't I playing anymore, kind of thing, right? And people, even though people don't know what you're doing on the free time, they know, kind of thing, right? The word of mouth comes around, kind of thing, like, hey man, I see so and so in the gym, you still working there? Like, oh, he is? And coaches hear that stuff all the time, man. They hear what you're doing off the field and on the field. They say it don't matter, but it does. Unless you're an all-star or something, it's gonna catch up to you every now and then. So you gotta keep going, keep grinding.
Yeah, I don't think people realize what the average career length is for like a professional football player. You've only got like 3 years for most people, but the fact that you had a long career, obviously there's something you did special, different than anybody. You mind taking us into like the process of that? What do you think was the key to you having such a long and productive career?
Yeah. I mean, for me in general, I was never like a selfish player. I was never the guy that wants to be in front of the camera doing interviews and stuff. So mine was just put my head down, just doing my job and getting the day over with, kind of thing, and doing it day by day. Just for me, it's for me, all I did was work. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one as much.
Do you think your training and doing martial arts and stuff like that help?
Oh yeah. So for me, I always had to switch up things. So one off season, I would do Taekwondo. One off season, I would do more gymnastics, actually stuff. So I can learn how to do flips and all that, and that really helps out the ligaments and try, and if you stick to the same routine, like your body's gonna get used to it. Even if you switch things up in the gym, your body's gonna get used to it. But you have to really break down your body and actually try different things, just so your mind is right too, kind of thing. Your mind can't get complacent, and if your mind gets complacent, like your body does, I feel like. So for me, that's just for me though. So I have to switch things up all the time. I like to try things different, try new things and dive in. And if I can't do it one year, maybe I can do it next year. If I can't do it this year, maybe I'll do it next year. If I can't do it next year, I can try it again the following year, kind of thing too. So it's just got to keep going and trying different things.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you're training at a pretty serious MMA gym out there. Paul Chang, he's a badass. He's been fighting.
Oh yeah, Ignite. Yeah, you're doing good.
So it's great you're learning with all these, veterans. And you ever see yourself, I know you have injuries and whatnot, and, balancing out your sports career and your acting career. Would you see yourself ever getting in a cage and beating up some dudes or what?
I might get in the ring first, then the cage. I might try some boxing out or something.
Okay.
Then getting into a little bit more. But I'm actually doing some more Muay Thai kickboxing stuff right now, but it's like I don't know, especially because I can't mess up this pretty face right now, man. My body's already messed up. It can't mess up everything else too, bro. It's just too much. I'm a bag of tomatoes and shit right now. I can't do that, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, you got to keep that nice face of yours. You don't want to have your nose turned sideways like your boy Paul. But I have seen guys, literally change their faces by, just getting in MMA, and then you get these big old cauliflower ears, and you just it's just choice for you.
I mean, all power to him, bro. Like for real, that takes a lot of courage to get in there, man. Like even me sparring is like, okay, cool, I'm sparring, I'm good. It's not like no street fight. Street fights, that happens just because it happens. But sparring and getting yourself out there just to show people like, hey, this is what I'm about. That's a that's a lot of courage in general, man. So that's like the biggest thing. So even if something like Paul, how he broke his nose, is like, but at least he put himself out there, kind of thing, right? So that's I gotta recommend people like that, man. They true soldiers, man. Like, even, fighting for the country, right? I feel like it's almost the same thing, putting yourself out there like that.
Yeah, I mean, I lived and trained in Japan 11 years, so I was training with all those crazy guys that were fighting in pride, and yeah, they don't. It's just the honor that's involved, that they don't really care how they look at the end of it. Like my sensei Sakurai, he got bones taken out of his nose so he wouldn't get another nosebleed, because he lost a big fight because of it. So he just took them all out. So that's how mad he wanted to win fights. Yeah. I'm not losing by a nosebleed again, so let's take out all the fights.
Dang. Man, yeah, that's crazy right there. That's dedication to the match. Dedication.
Yeah. Another thing I know you were doing, and I believe you still are, but which was kind of cool. You started your own apparel company. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. I started that too. That was a couple years ago. It was Intervision. I'm not doing it too much anymore, but it was more just because I was learning the business side of things in the CFL, and a lot of guys, like, they had a lot of merchandise sales, right? And in the CFL, but a lot of guys never got a piece of it, kind of thing. So, like, you sell somebody's jersey, the team gets all the money, the profits, but the player doesn't, right? So I was like, how can I, mix the environment and help out the players to get a little more income on the side. So I created, Intervision. It was an eco-friendly clothing company, so made out of recycled bottles. I got it out of the States through a manufacturer. Then I had, all the T-shirts made for the guys. So then if a shirt was sold, they'll get a cut of it, no questions asked, kind of thing, right? So it was a way to give back to the guys that actually are on the field and get a little more money in the pocket, kind of thing, and also obviously help out the environment as well too. So then I started doing more tank top, regular T-shirts after the season and everything as well, and it worked really well. It was a lot. It was a lot going on, especially during the season, and me transferring from that to film and all that as well too. And I was, doing phone calls. I was trying to get overseas too as well. So I was in Asia, not in Asia, but talking to them at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I got practice at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was it was a lot, kind of thing, getting everything set up. So I was like, man, it's good that I'm doing this, but at the same time, if I had like a team, then I can, keep rolling, but it was just me. So it was a good experience. It was like me going to business school. So I paid for it. It was good. It was good.
Well, I'm sure all those experiences will help you in the future. And
yeah,
it's definitely a learning curve. And I like that you had the vision to, help the environment and then help all your teammates and other people in the CFL. That's great.
Yeah.
I think it sets you apart from a lot of athletes, because as you've seen, there's a lot of athletes that go in and think that their sport's going to last forever, and they don't think about a plan B, like you touched on in the beginning, and the fact that you've got a plan B, C, and D with all these other ventures you've gone. It kind of makes the transition easier for you, depending on what you want to do in your future.
Right. Yeah, for sure too. Coming out of college, like I said, that once I found out, like, one little thing like a surgery in college could mess up your whole, like, professional career, I was like, dang, like, that, just because that happened, 3-4 years ago, you're gonna judge me off of that kind of thing, and it was nothing bad. It was just like an injury. It's like, okay, then I gotta make sure I got my ducats in a bunch, in the row. So I started, doing like the film stuff. Then one off season, I went back to, do some substitute teaching, just to get back to my old high school kind of thing. So I had, connections there as well if I need to do that, do some teaching. Then I did personal training. Then starting the business, the clothing line business. So I can do, marketing. I can do, logistics for a different business if I had to. I was going to get hired by like Gallo Wines because they saw that I could, run a business and play football at the same time as well too. So I was fortunate, to have opportunities to get good jobs after football. But yeah, you have to have backups, whatever industry you are in, unless you're 30 or unless you're 40, 45 and you're set. Like it's like you got to have, plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah, unless you're Bo Levi, that'll throw about 5 grades.
Yeah, or that too. Yeah, or that. Then it's like
we won't talk about that too much, but yeah, I just noticed that. Like I do. Obviously, I know some other Stampeders around for the years, and yeah, some guys just they get cut and then they don't know what to do, and then I try to show them a different path, and it's like they don't know what to do, and it's awesome that from the beginning, that's what I got to do. That's how I got to hustle. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the hustle, then at the end of the day, you're going nowhere, right?
Right. And don't get me wrong, a lot of guys have the hustle, and a lot of guys hustle the wrong way too, kind of thing, right? And I grew up seeing all aspects of that. So I just want to make sure, like for me, like if it hustles, I gotta hustle the right way, kind of thing, and go about it, because I don't want to let myself down and let my people down as well too. A lot of guys now, even through this pandemic and stuff, yeah, they have hustle, but then they get in trouble, and it's like, come on, man. But it is what it is. Can't save everybody.
Definitely.
With all the craziness going on in Canada, especially, do you have
Canada? What about the U.S., man?
Canada, it depends what area you're in, really. But do you have any plans on ever moving back to the U.S.?
Yeah. I think these next 4 or 5 years after I get my PR, I'll probably end up moving back, because right now I want to establish myself up in Canada for the next 4 or 5 years, to get my career up and going, really get up and going. Then, so there's a lot more competition in the States, kind of thing. So once I get that up and going, then I'll probably move back to LA, or maybe go to Atlanta, kind of thing. We got a lot of stuff out there for us brothers. So it'll be a good opportunity for me, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, cut your teeth in Vancouver. It's a huge industry. They're even talking about filming a few projects out here in Calgary. Maybe you'll be out here. Who knows? Oh
yeah. I was gonna say the projects, but I can't really say the projects right now that are out there in Calgary. But yeah, there's gonna be some cool ones out there. Hopefully I get a little look out there. But if my PR comes in time, then I might be out there. But if not, then it's some dope projects out there in Calgary coming out, actually.
Well, if you need a giant guy like me to jump in that knows martial arts, I'm in.
Yeah, I'll put your name out there for him then. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've been doing a few commercials here and there. It's about all I can do right now, but it's fun. It's a long day. I don't know how you would do a whole show, or like, dude, like.
Yeah, but once you see that paycheck, you're like, yeah, I can do
it. Yeah, I got paid with the submarine sandwich, so I wasn't like.
Oh yeah, no. You gotta get that union stuff. That union stuff, they be hooking it up.
Yeah, man. So yeah, well, I hope you stay in Canada, but it'd be good to have both choices, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But definitely LA is where the money's at. I probably won't be heading to Atlanta for anything out that way, because that's where the brothers hang out. Maybe we get Darrell.
Hanging out with the brothers, you all good. Though hanging out with the brothers, all good, right?
Okay. Well, I just want to say, like, one of our last questions to you, as you know, The Rock was a stampeder for a very short time, and he often talks about going out there, getting cut, having like $10 in his pocket, and then that was kind of the point where his career or whatever he wanted to started, and look who he is now. I mean, and then as a stampeder and a fellow footballer, I think, and now getting into acting, is he kind of like a bit of a role model for you?
Yeah, he is, man. He always kind of kept going, right? Have that chip on his shoulder kind of thing, right? If I can't make it one thing, I'm gonna prove to them that I can make it somewhere else. And then even after that, they cut him. He still gets props to the CFL and the Stampede as well too. That tells you what type of guy he is. You know what I'm saying? So he's never bad mouthing something just because it didn't work out in that moment. know what I'm saying? It's all about timing and, place and opportunities. And the opportunity wasn't there for him, but at that time. But all of a sudden, opportunity popped up for him somewhere else and keeps going and running with it, right? So if you have the opportunity and don't turn down, just keep running with it. And that's what I'm trying to do as well with the stunt aspect of things. And maybe I might go into stunt acting and doing acting as well too. If there's opportunity there, I'm gonna run with it. It's like just like he is. So he gives a good motivation of guys where even if you don't make it pro, you can make it pro in something else, kind of thing. So it's good.
Yeah, and I think he's over 50 now, isn't he?
Yeah, now he is.
Yeah.
Look at him,
Yeah.
and obviously on some supplements, but he's like to look like that when you're 50. I mean, whatever. I think
Right.
it's amazing.
Right.
His work ethic, and he just brings a gym with him everywhere he goes. It's like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. He knows what he wants at this point, right? And if he wants it, he go gets it. So that's rock, man. That's Dwayne.
Do you have any advice for any young athletes that might be in college now, or maybe guys going into college? Like any advice for people that are trying to follow the same path as you?
Yeah, stay healthy. That's one. The mind, body. So keep your mind right. Keep active. Save money. I wish I would have known that earlier and everything. As well, we all go through that. If you don't have somebody to take care of us, or show us that finances when you're growing up. But save money. Always have that plan A, B, C, D. If things don't turn out the way you want them to turn out, just because it gives you a better mindset and mind space. Just knowing that kind of thing, right? So so stretch, workout, have some backup plan, and get your mind right.
Nice. And if anybody wants to reach out to you, whether it be fans, other athletes, maybe thinking about going to the CFL, or just want to reach out to you, or even just agencies like, Dan, that guy's pretty awesome, we got to get him on our show or whatnot. How do they get a hold of you?
They can either hit me on Instagram, 𝐷lenLove20, or my email, 𝐷lenLove20@gmail.com, or just Facebook, where it's Glenn A. Love Jr. So pretty simple.
Awesome. Well, I'll throw all those contacts down here, and it was awesome picking your mind. I've known you for quite some years, but I haven't really get to know you on this much of a level. So it's awesome picking your brain, Glenn, and thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
See you later.
All right, see ya. Have a good one.
Clown Town, starring Rumple Forrester, D Nuts. If you're a clown, we're gonna call your bitch ass out.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Clown Town. We're the fucking biggest clowns in the whole wide world. And this week, we got some doozies for you. Number one, I want to point out fucking guys in the gym wearing stringers with the dumbass fucking nipples hanging out the side of the rail. I want to give that 3 honks on the fuck stick meter. What do you think of that, Darrell?
Yeah, I guess to each their own, but I don't need to see your nipples while you're doing pec flies all the time. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, I don't need to see your areolas poking out at me while I'm trying to do a set. So why don't you go suck your own fucking titties? Real?
Alright, the clown behavior I want to talk about is all the snitching going around in Calgary. A lot of gyms have been shut down, and a lot of gyms are actually fighting to stay open. But there's a certain kind of fuckstick that decides it's their job to try and make sure these gyms get found out and reported to the cops. You're a piece of shit. If you have an opinion on the matter, I just want you to write it down, make sure it's really long, and I want you to roll it up, bend over, and shove it up your ass, because that's where it needs to go.
And I want you to roll it up, bend over, and shove it up your ass, because that's where it needs to go.
And how many honks you gonna give them motherfuckers, 3? Y'all add a fourth for the fucking bitch-ass fuck stickery that's going on. Don't be a rat. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't fucking go to the gym. And stay in your house, and like Darrell said, stick some things up your anus! Alright, so the biggest clown of the week is Calgary's mayor, Nenshi. He gets 4 fucking hunks for being the biggest piece of shit for the last fucking 12 years, Darrell.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's made it this long. It feels like a bad dream, but every day I wake up, he's still here, making bad decisions. He just said he wanted to bow out and let other people have ideas. Well, it's because your ideas are all fucking retarded and useless.
Whoa, we're not supposed to use that word. I'll probably beep that out. But anyways, I feel that Nenshi is just fucking at the end, and the last fucking straw that broke the fucking fat fuck's back was his comment saying that working out had nothing to do with mental health or physical health. And that's something that, obviously, he doesn't do, because he looks like a bag of milk, and those are only sold in fucking Ontario, Darrell.
He looks like a bag of milk, and those are only sold in fucking Ontario, Darrell.
Clown Town, starring 𝐓.𝐆.𝐻 nuts. If you're a clown, we're gonna call your bitch ass out.
All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our interview with Glenn Love. Hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did. His path from UCLA to now getting into acting, it's pretty amazing.
Definitely. I mean, I've known Glenn for quite some years and just watched his progression from, football going on, competing in different cities, Saskatchewan and then Montreal. And then his acting career, blossoming and moving on to bigger roles. I'd love to see him, rival The Rock in the future. You never know. And we also want to thank our sponsors on the podcast, Resolute Strengthwear. You can see I'm wearing the hat and the hoodie. They got awesome stuff, awesome gear, awesome belts, new logs, new strongman devices that you can use to torture yourself. Darrell?
Yeah, and also I want to shout out to Misfit for the hoodie. Get the Be Deezy. Use our discount code that will drop at the end. Also, another sponsor for the people out there that can't look that great without with a bald head like that. Shout out to Scalp Tech if you need to get that fixed up for you.
One of these days, Darrell's going to have a fade right down to his fucking eyebrows. And don't forget about Bridge City brand. I was wearing a hat and a t-shirt with the bear there in the last segment. And also Darrell and I are rocking their beard goo in our beards. Just keeps it, oiled and looking shiny and nice. And also keeps it in place. Like it's almost like a hair wax slash oil, and it's amazing. Smells good. You'll like it. So if you're growing a beard out, don't let that fucking thing dry up and look like a tumbleweed hanging off your fucking chin. And you know what? Don't forget to eat big.
Train hard.
And always be fight ready.
2 guys, 1 bench. Shit talking. Strength sports. Combat sports. Game over. Resolute. Prepare yourself for battle. Choices and consequences. Misfit. SMP industry leader. Boost CBD. Unlock your true performance. Powerlifting motivation.
Powerlifting.
With Jana. Her lifting inside edition. Generation Strength Coach. Discover your